On this episode of Ask a Photographer, why is photography so expensive? Well, the short answer is you get what you pay for. But what are you actually paying for? One of the reasons most photographers don't publicly post our prices is because you don't know what you're getting for those prices. And it's impossible to compare the value of two photographers if you don't know what you're actually getting from them. There's no right or wrong, better or worse. It's really just about knowing what you're getting for what you're paying. And until you learn what is actually available and have the conversations with those photographers, you can't know. So that's what this video is all about. So I'm gonna give you 5 things to consider when choosing a photographer so you can get your money's worth. Hello, my name is Mike Lloyd. I have been a professional photographer for 12 years, and I love having conversations about why I charge what I charge, because I 1000% stand behind the value that I offer. So in this video, I'm going to give you 5 things to consider when choosing your photographer to decide if that photographer is right for you. Number 1, why do you want the photos? Number 2, are they a legitimate business or a part-time hobbyist? Number 3, is hair and makeup included? Number 4, do they know how to pose you? And number 5, how will the photos be delivered? So the first one, why do you need the photos? If you want a new headshot because you're looking for a new job, think about what that job can bring you and your family. It's the financial freedom. It's getting out of the old corrupt environment, right? And if this headshot, which is a powerful tool, can help you land that job, that has some tremendous value. So paying $20 for the opportunity to totally change your career and your life, obviously there are other factors involved, but that's the power of this headshot. It's your first impression. It's showing your future employer that you care, and the way you're presented in that headshot is a representation of you. It's like handwriting your resume versus having a professional help you draft one. If you want family photos, maybe your kids are away in college and they only come home one time a year. And this is an opportunity to get everyone together and show that you are still a family despite the fact that you don't all live in the same area anymore. If you have a talented photographer who can help you put together a seamless experience, you can have these beautiful photos while having fun at the photo shoot, and that is what the family portraits are all about. So knowing why you want these photos is part of the value. The more you want them, the more impact they make in your life, the more you're probably going to pay for them. But it's impacting your life. There's value there. If you just want photos because you think it'd be a fun, cool thing to do, that is totally fine also. And if you want to pay less for it, I totally get it. But then you're not going to find the best photographer around because you're not willing to pay for the best photographer around, or even somebody remotely close. But if you just want photos for the sake of doing it, totally cool. There's a photographer out there for you and your budget. Number 2, are they a legit business or are they a part-time hobbyist? I will tell you that I spend a lot of money on my business. My equipment, super expensive. I have a lot of insurance, continued education. I have studio space I need to pay for, my hairstylist and makeup artist, all the wardrobe that I consider, my photo editor, my social media manager. Taxes are stupid. And I don't mean stupid as in like I don't understand the purpose of taxes, but it's a lot of money and it costs money to run a business, plus all my licenses, my certifications, all the things that I do to remain a legitimate business so that I can do what I do. That being said, I'm willing to put in what it takes to maintain this business and the product and the service I deliver. If somebody's a part-time hobbyist and it's just a thing that they do for funsies on the weekend, that is also totally cool. If that's all you want out of a photo shoot, again, is to hang out with someone and have a few photos taken, amazing. You can go do that. But when you're comparing what they're going to charge, maybe $50 for all of the images from your session or $5,000 for a designer album, an online gallery you can access, plus some gorgeous wall art to hang up, those are not the same things. Plus, the experience the photographer has in posing you, in the hair and makeup, and how they choose the locations and the outfit selections. There's a ton of work that goes into producing a quality photo shoot so that you have an incredible experience. Someone who has experience doing that, they will give you a better experience than somebody who just does it part-time as a hobby. So again, there's no right or wrong. Whatever one you want, amazing. But just know that there's a difference between the two, and you're going to pay more when you get an actual professional who's going to do a better job. Number 3, Is hair and makeup included? Not every photographer will include hair and makeup in their photo shoot. You might see a session fee of $99 from one and $500 from another and think, what's the difference between these photo shoots? How could there possibly be a 5x difference in cost? One of those is probably hair and makeup. I include hair and makeup in all of my sessions for my women's portraits, my boudoir, and my high school seniors. It is an optional add-on for families and for headshots. And the reason is because when you have your hair and makeup professionally done, that will bring out your best features in the photos. Plus, it's a lot of fun. It's relaxing. And during those kind of shoots specifically, we spend that first 90 minutes just hanging out here chatting, pour a glass of Prosecco or some bubbly water, and you just get to relax. No emails, no phone calls, no work. You just relax, get taken care of. And that sort of energy really helps set the tone for the shoot. Plus, my stylist is my assistant. So she sticks around for the whole session. She does makeup touch-ups, hair touch-ups. If we're going to do a second look, she'll do that. Clipping garters, zipping up your dress, whatever you need. She is here the whole time to help. So that is built into the cost of the shoot. But the value is immensely disproportionate to what you are paying. And by that I mean you're only paying a little bit more for the photo shoot, but the experience is 1,000 times better because you have this second set of hands and this enhanced experience here in the photo shoot. Number 4, do they know how to pose you? I've heard so many of my clients walk in and be like, the last photographer I hired just told me to be natural and I don't know what that means. Like, well, of course you don't, because why would you? If you're not a professional model, if you don't practice posing in front of a mirror so that you know your lines and your angles, you have no business knowing how to pose. Like, seriously, that is 100% your photographer's responsibility. And if you don't know how to pose, we can help you. A legitimate professional photographer can guide you through all the poses. They'll tell you where to move your chin, where to put your eyes, this arm over here. What do I even do with my hands? That we got you. 100% covered. I literally wrote the book on it. I have a book out for photographers on how to pose in boudoir sessions. This is one of the things I'm known for in my industry, my fashion-inspired posing. So I really love this part because every body is different, every outfit is different, every mood, every story we're telling is different. And I love getting to be creative with the way that I pose my clients, finding all the flattering angles between my lighting and the posing. This is like where my creativity really shines through. And again, your photographer should know how to pose you. So that's one thing to ask. Am I going to be just being myself, being natural, or are you going to put me into poses? And if you're thinking, but I don't want posed photos, I want them all to look candid, that's like having a natural makeup look. There's a ton of work and skill that goes into making it look like it's totally natural and unplanned. And we can do that too. So again, check with your photographer and find out if they can do that for you. And if you want to pick up a copy of my book, I'll put the link down below. And number 5, how will you receive these photos? If you are doing a portrait session and your photographer is just going to give you everything on a thumb drive or throw them into a Google Drive or something, cool. If that's all you want, great, communicate that with your photographer. The reason some photographers charge more, most of the legit ones do charge more, is because we know that digital images go onto a drive, maybe they get posted to Facebook or Instagram, and then they die. They disappear, hard drives get corrupt, files are lost, or you just get distracted by the next thing and lose interest. And that's what happens, right? How many photos do you have on your phone right now that you just haven't looked through since you took them? That is not why we do what we do. We want you to see these photos all the time to remind you how amazing you are, how great your family is. For high school senior photos, if you're the parent, we want you to remember this point in your child's life where they're no longer a child, they're a grown-up, but they're still your baby, right? That is what these photos will constantly remind you of. And we want to display them in a way that honors that. So one of the ways I do that is with these badass albums. They're handmade in Portugal. They come in this box. I'm going to try not to drop this, doing it one-handed. They're solid. This thing weighs like 15 pounds. It's got the cool silver gilding on the outside. My top tier ones come with red gilding on the outside. That's the shiny metallic part on the sides of the pages. Just beautiful cover. But the inside, this is where the magic is. These pages have this soft, silky, velvety lamination over the top of them. And it feels like similar material to the box for like Apple products or a Tiffany's box, if you're more familiar with that. But most of my clients, when they get these, they're just sitting there like rubbing the pages because they're so soft and silky. It's magic. I put a lot of detail into the way that I deliver my photos, whether it's the metal prints are very specifically chosen between the company and the finish and the sizes that I choose. Even my digital images, I do crystal USB drives, and I have a woodworker in the Ukraine who hand makes the boxes for me. They're just freaking gorgeous because the photos, it's more than just the photos. It's an entire experience. These are keepsakes, they're heirlooms, and I want them to live on for a long, long time. And just throwing them in a Google Drive isn't going to accomplish that. But again, if that's all you want, or just a handful of digitals because it'd be fun to just take a photo shoot like that, great. That's amazing. You can go do that. But that is why there's a price difference between those kinds of photographers. So there you go. That is why photography is so expensive, because you get a lot more from legitimate professional photographers. So the 5 things to consider when choosing your photographer to find out if you are getting the right amount of value for what you pay. Number 1, why do you need the photos? Number 2, are they a legit photographer or are they a part-time hobbyist? Number 3, is hair and makeup included? Number 4, do they pose you? And number 5, how will you be receiving the photos? I have some other incredible videos on this channel about how to pick a local photographer, so you can look that up. Or if you're interested in working with moi, I would be happy to have you in front of my camera. You can find me at MikeLloydStudios.com. And if you have any other questions, post them in the comments down below. I am happy to help. You are amazing. We'll see you inside.